Thanks for staying tuned. You're still watching iBrand Daybreak. Now it's time to delve into the third discussion of the day. Every so often you find out that financial schemes as well as business classes tend to teach Nigerians to always have multiple stream of income. This time around, we're looking at skill acquisition as a means of empowerment to have the multiple stream of income so that there will be a commensurate measure with the standard of living and possibly even higher than the cost of living. Joining us to discuss skill acquisition as a means of financial empowerment is Adeniyi Atiba, who is the director of the AAA company. Welcome to the show. Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you very much, Samson, for having me.
Good morning, Adeniyi. Thank you for joining
Hey,
us.
thank you, Margaret. Thank you for having me on the show.
Let's start the discussion with skill acquisition. As I said earlier,
Okay.
every so often you have business coaches, financial analysts talk about skill acquisition as a means of financial empowerment. Break that down for the layman who is watching us out there that probably doesn't understand how to raise multiple stream of incomes. I beg
Okay,
pardon.
beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so skill acquisition is actually you just in a layman's term, you picking up a skill that will allow you to earn or survive in any economy at all. The wisdom here now is to choose something, to choose a skill that solves a problem that people are willing to pay for. That's the wisdom.
Okay.
Choosing a skill that can solve.
Hello?
Yeah,
Can you hear
yes.
me?
I'm with you.
Yes.
You have the floor.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Sure.
Yes, so I was saying that, skill acquisition is you picking up a skill that can allow you to thrive or survive in any economy, right?
Yes.
And the wisdom here is to ensure that you choose that skill that solves a problem that people are willing to pay for.
Okay.
In fact, the whole idea is to ensure that you choose a high income skill, okay, so that you can actually make enough money, as you go on. So your skill acquisition is you now taking time out to go learn that skill. So sometimes it can take up to 6 months, sometimes a year, sometimes 2 years to master the skill, depending on the way it is. So that's what skill acquisition is, practically to lay person.
All right, now let's look at it. You just defined skill acquisition to a layman. Now let's look at it as a means of empowerment, just as my colleague rightly mentioned, a means of multiple streams of income now.
Okay, beautiful. All right, so now I'll share a quick story. I was struggling. I was hard. Was working hard, but no matter how much I worked hard as an employee, it didn't solve my problem. I mean, I wasn't making enough to pay off my loan. I wasn't making enough to do all that. Then all of a sudden, I had an idea. The idea was to take my gift, my gift of gab, and polish it and turn it into a skill. All right. So I started speaking professionally, as a public speaker, as a consultant, as a coach, and in a space of months, I was able to pay off my loan. Now that's a typical story of an empowerment story, right? Your skill, especially if it's a high income skill, allows you, it gives you that edge, that advantage, to earn as much as you can. Now this is the beautiful thing about skill empowering you. It's how well you are able to develop that skill. If you develop that skill to what I call a master level, then you discover that you can command enough income, and that's how it is. So it empowers you economically and financially. That's what your skill does to you. Yeah.
Okay, you just talked about high income skills. Again, let's break it down
Yes.
for the average Nigerian watching. Your conventional,
Okay.
your conventional skill acquisitions such as maybe hairdressing or hair making and tailoring and all of
Yeah,
that.
carpentry,
Exactly,
plumbing,
upholsteries and all of that.
all those things,
So
welding, yeah.
the question is now two-faced. One, kindly differentiate between a low income skill and a high income skill. That's one. Then two, for those with low income skills, as I said, the conventional or stereotypical ones, how do they convert it? How do they improve on it to ensure that it becomes a high income skill?
That's a very lovely question, Samson, because you know, so a high income skill is a skill that allows you, just like I said, high income. It allows you to earn, so I was thinking about this thing sometime earlier this year, and I realized that some people were earning in the tune of millions in a short space of time, while some people had to work harder, a larger number of hours, a larger number of days and months to earn commensurate to these people who would just in a matter of maybe hours or days, they were earning in six figures, right?
Yes.
But the others had to like do much more. They had to do like months before they could match up with these people. So that shows you the difference between high income skills and low income skills. So yes, you could actually be a hairdresser, right? But you see, the difference between how can you leverage, how can you, push up, upgrade your low income, low income skill into a high level, income skill is with the level of technology done. Now, today you can use technology to bridge that gap, right?
Yes.
With a bit. So now you can see welders, you can see plumbers, you can see technicians all being able to charge much more because they have, a higher level. They could use technology. Google My Business, platforms like Instagram, can actually get into people's faces and then command. You can package yourself in a proper way, get your bank.
Hello. Hello, Adeni, are you there? A bit of issues with the network,
Yeah,
but
I think we lost him for a moment.
from his train of thoughts, you could easily tell he was talking about the need to, deploy technology
And
to
develop. Yeah.
push your craft out there in terms of
Reach that,
publicity.
take
Oh,
that.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
You have the
Put
floor.
yourself online. Yeah. So put yourself online and then leverage on technology, and that will bridge the gap between your low income and your high income. It changes everything.
Okay.
Now you just mentioned using technology to push your skills out there to the faces of everybody. Now let's talk about using technology to even learn the skills, because I know of people who learned how to do professional makeup via YouTube, hairdressing via YouTube. Someone said she learned how to wrap more via YouTube, and now she does that as a business. She makes more. She wraps it with. She learns to wrap the leaf on YouTube, and now that's a means of that may not be a skill in its own now, but that's a means of, it's a financial. It brings money for her. So now let's look at the use of technology, social media, to learn the skills.
Sorry, I didn't get you, Margaret. Could you repeat what you just said?
Oh, yeah. I said that you mentioned using technology to push out your skills to the. Are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Technology to push out your skills to the faces of people. Now I'm asking,
Yes.
let's talk about the use of technology to even learn the skills. And I started an instance of someone who I know who had to learned how to do professional makeup via YouTube, and now she does makeup for people and makes a lot of money from it. So using this technology to learn the skills in itself. Are you there?
Hello? Yeah. I didn't hear what she was saying anymore.
Basically,
that was why I was waiting.
Oh, okay. But basically, she was.
I think I have an idea of what she's saying. Can I go on?
Yeah, sure.
Sure.
You have the floor.
Wow.
Can you hear me? I think we have an
issues,
issue with network.
With the network issue. But
hello, I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Basically, I can hear you. Oh, all right.
Okay, basically
she
was asking.
Was talking about using technology, right?
Exactly.
Using technology to learn these things. Yes, honestly, what if I told you that I learned a lot more about digital marketing online, right? Mm-hmm. What if I told you that I was able to, I learned how to do quite a lot of things online with YouTube, with a lot of just following some Instagram handles. I learned a lot. I practically learn every single day online, because the question is, what do you come to do online? That's the question. If you have
Are you there?
You want to
Yes. Hello, Adeni.
Okay, I think
Issues with the network.
we just have
He
to.
asked a very, vital question. What do you do online? So many people spend, a huge amount of time online
A lot
when
of people.
when they do not have any commercial, value for it in terms of probably pushing their businesses out there. They just go online, spend probably an hour on Instagram, delve to Twitter another 2 hours and all of that, just for the fun of it, just, for cruise, as
Yeah.
it's often called. And that's a salient question because you're burning data, and that's definitely a cost in
Correct.
terms of, financial cost. You're also burning time,
Your time, which
which
is
is
very, very
essential.
important. Yeah.
It's time, as they say, is money. So you're not just burning the capital in terms of the cost of data, you're also burning the time that you could either use to learn, either use to learn a new skill, or
Yeah.
push your goods out there or your services. So I think it asked a very
hello,
vital question.
hello, something.
Oh, okay. You
Hello,
have you,
something.
you have the
Yeah.
floor.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I was able to hear you, but you were not able to hear me.
Okay, we're
So
able to
Okay.
I
hear you
was
now.
saying,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So I was saying that it's a question of what do you come to do online. Do online now with the advent of entertainment apps like Netflix
Mm-hmm.
and some other like Roku TV and all that. We could be tempted, right,
Yes.
to actually spend a lot of our time, on entertainment, and we're not growing. But you see, everybody must have the goal. What exactly it is that what's your goal? Now, I have a financial goal that I always set in the beginning of every year. Now, if anything, I have a concept called the concept of Ikigai. What that does is it helps me to position what are the skills that I need to achieve my financial goal. And so every single day, I spend a minimum of 2 hours developing myself online. Okay, you can't imagine the number of courses that I took January when I started this year. I took like almost 48 courses in a short space of time, you know, because I needed something. I had a goal. So your goal should determine what exactly it is that you're spending your time online doing. You cannot spend time watching TV and watching cable and watching entertainment and then think you're going to just get rich. It's not going to work. No.
Okay, just as we hit home stretch, let's look at this. There's the place of skill acquisition. There's also the place of converting the skill acquisition to money. You've talked about,
Yes.
skill acquisition as a means of empowerment, but that those who tell you, oh, I have the skills, but I'm probably not getting the right market to acquire, my services in terms of that skill or converting it into money. So let's look at that and bring it, to a close. How do you convert your skills that you've acquired over time into money, either in terms of making your services more marketable or, your goods as well, how you get creative with it to make it more valuable?
Okay, now what you just asked is a very powerful question. It's a very, very interesting question. Very, very important question. But it's not something we can answer in just 2 minutes. So, but I'm just going to try my best, right?
Okay.
So, number one, you've got to let people know. You use the word marketable. You've got to let people know that you have the skill. That means that you've got to. So, what did I do? When I started speaking and consulting for people, particularly for business people, especially in the area of sales, what did I start to do? I walked into organizations and I started offering them my services for free, right? I started offering my service for free because they needed to also experience that, I could actually deliver on what I said that I have. Okay, so you've got to show them. If you're into hairdressing, then you've got to show them what you can do. It's called a portfolio,